Yes, people, welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV. Welcome, AJT from the Cop TV. I don't even need to ask you how you're doing, do I? You must be flying.
Yeah, flying is the word. Shout out to Movado. At the top, it's just us in
No,
both domestic league and European.
fair
So
play.
yes, mate. As you'd expect, I'm absolutely buzzing with life right now. It's been some week to be a Liverpool fan, mate. I tell you that.
It has been, mate. Listen, you've made it
How are
look
you?
easy. It's be a brushing aside Real Madrid, brushing aside Man City. You got us next, and the Merseyside derby, big fixtures, but Arnie Slot keeps getting the job done.
Yeah, and he needs massive respect for that because at the start of the season, this was supposed to be a transitional year. It was supposed to be maybe the year that Arsenal get over the line with the tiring legs of Man City, but no one, including myself, thought all those things would happen. Yes, Liverpool have been incredible so far. They've only lost one game all season, drawn one, and won the rest. So if you take your minds back to when Arne Slot was doing pre-season, not one person, rival fan, Liverpool fan, no one thought that this would happen. So we're just enjoying it as the moments, continue to happen every week. We keep winning, we keep getting boosted up. The fans are loving it. The players seem like they're absolutely loving this system as well. And even with the injuries, we still seem to be, churning out results after results. So it's an absolutely sensational time to be a Red, mate. I can't lie to you. I'm trying to hide the smile because I know obviously you got that late draw, and I sent you a text when Palace got that goal the other day. So I'm trying not to rub it in too much, mate. But it's difficult to hide this smile. I'll be honest, man.
Maybe if it was me, I'd be beyond smiling. Do you know what I mean? I'd run up and down going absolutely mental. But listen, the only slot thing's interesting to me because I now think Jurgen Klopp must be sitting at home with his Red Bull thinking, bloody hell, what's going on here? Do you know what I mean? He must be sitting at home thinking, I wish I didn't retire. I wish I didn't sat it in because he waited all these years to try and get another Prem. Then Pep Guardiola just flipped it on his head, having the worst season ever, scratching his eyebrows off. And Jurgen Klopp's at home necking the Vodka Red Bulls.
Scratching his eyebrows off. Jesus.
He's having the treble Vodka Red Bulls at home, Jurgen Klopp. He must be watching this thinking, get me back in. Can I be part of the backroom staff? Can I get another Prem title, please?
Yeah, it does feel a little bit like that. But, Jurgen did his job by leaving behind a team that was pretty much well equipped to deal with any competition this season. I just don't think people expected it. It's weird, isn't it? Because people are saying you've not played anyone good or you're playing everyone at the right time. But at the start of the season, I know I keep going back to it, but we had the same squad as we did last year. That squad finished third last year. So is it a massive surprise that Liverpool are still doing well with that squad? No. But the results, the clean sheets, and the type of performances are better at this stage this season to what Klopp was obviously putting out last season. Let's not forget how many times we went behind last season. I think it was 22 games we went behind, and we're trying to claw back a result last season. But this season, it's the opposite. We go ahead and we just put the old autopilot on, mate, the cruise control, autopilot, and we just seem to be controlling games without even really being massively tested. I mean, we played against Man City yesterday, mate, and not once across the whole game was I nervous that we were going to concede a goal.
No.
And yes, only being 1-0 up, you still think, right, we need another one to kill the game off. And really, on another day, Liverpool should have won that 6 or 7-0 yesterday. But it's the control for me. That's the difference. And Klopp has left behind a beautiful squad for Slot to inherit, but it's Slot's tactics and way of working this year that's been just more than anything we could have ever imagined, to be honest, mate. So yeah, Klopp probably will be fuming, but he's still smiling because he's left behind that team that Slot's taken on. And Slot gives him credit in every press conference, every interview. You see him saying, big up Jurgen for leaving me with these lads. So, if we do win the league this year, huge credit goes to Arne Slot, but you'd have to say a good 20% of that work has already been set out by Jurgen Klopp. So, yeah, we're absolutely loving the geezer. He's definitely won the battle of the bold so far.
Oh, aye, absolutely. The foundations have been built, haven't they, for many years, to be fair. Like, you see the likes of Salah still just turning up week in, week out. It's scary, to be honest with you. But I had Liverpool finishing third before the season started.
Me too.
On the old odds checker. So
me too.
But listen, they went above and beyond that. Is it done now then, Alex? 9 points clear, aren't you? Is it? Are
It's
you
not done.
confident? Are you going to stick your chest out? I know Robbie every week on DR is trying to get you to commit. Monday
No,
show a day.
I do think we're going to win the league. You can have that on the Magpie channel. I do think we're going to win the league, but I can still think that, and then we can still have a couple of slip-ups. You know, I'm not saying that we go undefeated till the rest of the season. That would be ludicrous because we will lose 1 or 2 games from here on in. We will. But at the same time, mate, like, I'm confident. I mean, I've had enough evidence in front of me now to see the way we play, the goals that we can score, the goals that we can stop from going in. I've seen enough evidence now. We're 20 games in, bro. We're probably a third of the way through the season now in terms of all comps. So,
and most
mate,
importantly, you know, we're 20 games into seeing how Man City don't look like they're going to go on one of those famous Man City runs. To be honest with
yeah,
you, that's
I
the
mean,
big
I
thing.
can't see that team winning 15 games in a row now.
No. Unless they do a madness in January and they bring in like two huge players, maybe, especially a midfielder, then you can't be sure. But at the minute, they just don't look. Don't like doing. I don't think
No, they
Arsenal got
look
the
well
character
off
for
it.
it.
They look well off it, but you know, as bad as they've been, Liverpool have been, you know, exceptional. So as much as City have been poor, it's Liverpool actually that have been really good. So I do think we should now go on and win. I know obviously you were scarred from 95, 96. I would love it and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But that team,
12 points.
that Newcastle team conceded so many goals, even though you scored so many, you conceded so many. Jurgen's teams were famous for conceding a few as well. But this is different. So yeah, I I want us to go and win. I expect us to go and win with this league now, but anything can still happen. So still feet on the floor, but why wouldn't I want to predict that we can now go and win the league? So that's me now. I'm putting the pressure on ourselves to go and win
Mm-hmm.
this now.
That's the difference now. You know, the switch is flipped now, hasn't it? Really, because now you're the leading pack. People are going to be chasing you. Everyone's going to be expecting it now, and it's going to be like, oh, if Liverpool lose this week, then it's going to be down to 5 points. And you know what I mean? You can already see the kind of stuff you're going to get on DR. The mainstream media are going to say it. Can they handle this now? Can Arsenal go on a run? So, mate, you're going to have to deal with that. But let's talk about Newcastle briefly. I mean, I do it enough, so I just want to get a different perspective on it, to be honest. And it's not the best time after the poor week we've had. But Newcastle currently sit in, I think we might have moved the place down yesterday because of Man U winning. Let's just double check that. I think we might be in 11th now. We are in 11th, tied with Fulham and Man U are in 9th. Newcastle in 11th on 19 points, but we are only 4 points off the Champions League places. So again, things can change very quickly in this inconsistent Premier League season. What do you make of Newcastle so far, Alex, this term?
Yeah, some really outstanding performances. You look at the Arsenal game, the Chelsea game, and I don't think it's that surprising that Newcastle beat an Arsenal or a Chelsea at St James's. That happens at least once a season, every season, really. You are expected as the home team with that atmosphere, with that stadium, to win these kind of games. So they're the good parts. The bad parts have been the lack of goals, mate. I mean, I know Wilson's been injured. I know Isak's been in and out. But I think you've scored like maybe the 19th lowest amount of goals this season. I think Everton are maybe behind you. So that's got to change. I don't know if you've got any money in January to go out about and change that. But if you've got Isak, it's not about going to buy someone to replace him. It's just keeping him fit. And there's been some really poor performances. The West Ham one, that's got to be the lowest point of the season so far for the Geordies, to lose that game against such a struggling West Ham team who, you know, conceded 5 the game after that. That didn't make sense. So what have I thought of Newcastle? I think you failed to capitalize on the other teams around you dropping points. I mean, if you'd have won that West Ham game, you could probably chuck a couple others in that you've either drawn or should have won. We'd be talking about, you know, Newcastle for the top 4 again this season. So luckily for you, though, everyone else is dropping points. So you're still definitely not out of it. Would I prefer Newcastle to finish 4th or 5th ahead of United or Chelsea? Absolutely. 100% I would. So, you know me, apart from this game and when we play you at Anfield, they're the only 2 times I really want Newcastle to lose games because, you know, you deserve success up there. So I'm waiting to see after this game you really turn it around and push for the top 4, bro, because the players that you've got in your squad should be there or thereabouts. It's just that consistency, and it's the goals, bro. Well, I need to see a few more goals, but not on Wednesday night.
It would be nice to see some goals on Wednesday night. Listen, Anthony Gordon might be trying to put on a show since apparently he wants that move to Liverpool so much, is what I got told off Liverpool Twitter fan base in the summer.
Yeah.
He's signed his new contract, but he hasn't quite been on it either this year, like the majority of players. But I want to finish off on this before we get your score prediction, mate. Eddie Howe, is he the man to take Newcastle United forward? Because it's been a lot of talk on social media this weekend. I put a poll out, had a few thousand votes. There's still 70% backing Eddie Howe, with the other 28% or so saying sack him, get someone else in. What do you think?
I can't really imagine Newcastle without Eddie Howe. He's done such a great job since he's been there. And if I was a Newcastle fan, I'd be like yourself, mate. I'd be pushing for a bit more support and backing of the manager who's done such a sterling job so far. I mean, what would be the other option if you got rid of him? I can't really see many out there that would jump out at the page to manage a club that big. You know, Graham Potter's been sitting around for a couple of years. I don't even think if he's the right man. So the right man, the questions, the answers come back to Eddie Howe. He's got to find a way now. This is what the top managers do. They have to find a way. You have to start scoring some goals and turn things around. But he's definitely still the right man. And yeah, you know, I still back Eddie Howe to turn it around for Newcastle. I mean, yeah, if 70% of fans are saying that, then I'd agree with them for sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, some of them are saying the ones that don't want Eddie Howe, or, you know, everyone's pointing towards Jose Mourinho. You know, with the Steve Bobby Robson links, he's out there in Turkey now.
I respect the links, you know, but at the same time, yeah, that's it's not 2006. Do you know what I mean?
It's true, like that's what I mean. What Jose are you getting? Do you know what I mean? What Jose are you getting these days? Right then, mate. Let's finish off on a score prediction. I was just looking at the recent results there because we know it's been quite a while since we had a good one at St James's where we got 3 points. It was actually 2015-16 season when we won 2-0 against you lot. So it's nearly 10 years, nearly a decade since
your anniversary coming up.
And this was good. Do you remember the goal scorers that day, by the way?
Gini Wijnaldum.
Yeah, it's got himself a nice move to Liverpool on the back of that. And an own goal from Martin Skirtle. An own goal from Skirtle as well.
Big him up. Well, 5 years before that game, I was at that game in 2010, as you know, and we lost 3-1, so it can happen. My score prediction goes a little bit like this. Liverpool free-flowing, scoring, the clean sheets are there. It's all dependent on the first half an hour for me, mate. If we can score in that time, then I do think it could be a long night. So I'm going to go for a 3-1 Liverpool win.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I think this one will be close. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we won because it's typical Newcastle. Honestly, it really is. We'll turn up against the big boys. We'll let you have the ball. We'll hit you on the counter with the Gordons, the Isaacs, maybe he's fit, and we'll do well. And then the next game is Brentford. We'll lose that. We'll probably lose against Leicester or whoever else it might be coming up. Do you know? And then when
how about this?
We'll beat them.
How about this? Lose Wednesday, all right, but then win all them games. Would you take that?
Well, probably because it's a bit like against the other week, getting beat off West Ham, false hope, getting points away to Forest who were flying at the time. We beat them 3-1. You think we've turned the corner here. Next game we'll play the worst team in the league with the manager who's meant to get sacked, and we get beat 2-0. Yeah, but I'm going to say that I was going to try and be optimistic and say 2-1 us or 1-1, but honestly, if I'm being truthful as always, I'm going to have to say 2-1 Liverpool. I am. I'm going to have to say 2-1.
I'll take that. If you offer me now,
I think we'll start strong. Liverpool might make 1 or 2 changes off the bench, get a winner, 80-odd minute, and that'll be it.
80-odd minute. You're scarred from Nunes last year, aren't you, bro? You're really scarred. But listen, whatever happens, it's been good to see you. Always good coming on the channel. And I'll see you at Anfield, I guess.
Well, mate, I don't know. We'll see where the league table's looking at this point. When's that? January or something? No, it can't be. It won't be January, will it?
February or March, I think, that game.
Well, maybe then. If it's not snowing and we're not getting beat every week, I might come along. You can get win the box, eh? You return the favour, get win the box. That'd be nice.
Yeah. No, I'll try. I'll do my best. I can't guarantee it.
I'll come down. There's a number of Guinness. I'll be there. But anyways, it's been a pleasure, mate. It's been great seeing you again. Gutted you're not coming up this week, but hopefully I'll see you soon on DR or down there at Anfield. Everyone, make sure you check out Alex's channel, the Cobb TV. The best place to be for Liverpool content. He's closing in on the big 50k, so go over there, hit subscribe. and check them out. You won't want to watch it after Wednesday night, I'm guessing, but from then you can enjoy them at least beating Arsenal, Man City, Man U. For me, I'd rather Liverpool win the league than those Wolves.
You know it makes sense, Matty. You know it makes sense. Matty Renton, big him up, man. Big him up. Yeah.
All right, there you go, bro. Enjoy yourself.
Love to
See you later, mate.
Yeah, take care.
Right, mate. Big up, Doyle.